Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the studio here on a Thursday night. Chad Rosema here with you to guide the action for the pregame show before I let him be all by his lonesome throughout the night. But it's the last week we're going to see this because we know, as I welcome in John, we know that Tuesday was our last day of the Tuesdays for the season. So we're going to be back down to our 4-day rotation, our usual fall and winter. Now, that'll be for a couple of weeks. We'll stay at 4 days come November, but we're going to be adding the Sundays and deleting the Thursdays. So we'll have some more jostling to do.
Yeah, some more shuffling of the schedules.
Yeah.
I can't sit on my couch and watch football all Sunday now.
No, you got to sit in studio and do it.
I got to sit in studio.
Yes.
We need more monitors.
I don't know if we have enough. We got 1, 2, 3,
got my
4.
phone. I've got a
maybe
couple
use
of screens.
this.
Yeah, we're going to all systems on deck, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So if you tune in on our first Sunday and you see a bunch of laptops, well, then you know what's going on here. So again, no Louis Waugh here tonight. I know he was serving some days. He was supposed to be back tonight. Hopefully he's back tomorrow, obviously, for a big night. But he was on 10 horses here this evening. Now, I mentioned the paddock judge, Jody McGilvery, busy at work trying to secure those drivers. Again, we're just getting kind of trainers coming in with their horses and stuff. Now, we do have a bunch of the early ones already secured, so let's go through them again. I know we just did the run of changes. But I can tell you that in race number 1, Billy Davis will be driving number 9. It'll be all right. It'll be all right, the 9. In race number 1 will be Billy Davis Jr. Over to race number 2, James McDonald picks up the drive on the 1, My Ghost. My Ghost, the 1 driven by James McDonald. In the 3rd race, Jody Jamieson will now pilot number 1, Mac the Knight. Jody Jamieson in the bike on 1, Mac the Knight in the 3rd race. We don't have 4 or 5 just yet, but we do have one in race number 9, where we know that number 6, Tip of Time, will now be driven by Doug McNair. So Doug McNair is on number 6, Tip of Time. And we could get some more, as the night progresses here. Now, when you remove a guy like Louis, it's no different than when you remove a Doug or a James or a Bob. You expect them to have a lot of drives. And as handicappers, a lot of times, we factor in who's necessarily at the controls. So I would think for you tonight, Louis was probably driving some contenders here.
Oh, big time. He was driving contenders. I don't even know if I had him on top in any races, though, to be honest with you. But I would have had him in the mix for sure. He had some good drives tonight for sure, so it's going to be a great opportunity for others to pick them up. Yeah,
Tuesday. I'm trying to think back to Tuesday, what took place as far as, because we're going to give you some highlights of the Tuesday happenings. Again, our final Tuesday of the year. But as far as it's Gary. Yeah, Gary Murner was perfect. That's right. He had bookend wins on the card. Then he had another one in between. He was able to win races 1, 4, and 10. And we had some rain during the day. It wasn't treacherous, but they had the track packed, and it was clearly firm. I mean, even right off the bat there when what trotter of his, I mean, 21 and change at 3/4
was wrong.
So did I, even in my call. I just, I speculated that, if it's correct, but no, it was right. I mean, they crawled home, but as Randy was saying, James said he was, that was kind of the intention. Let's let him roll. Sometimes that'll wake you up. They kind of let another one roll too. I thought maybe the one in the middle, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Gary, he had perfect night. Dougie had 3 wins on there. James and Jody doubling up in there as well. And that jackpot high five continues to grow. More than 32,000. It was hit not too long ago.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see if it's going to grow to a sizable pot come Breeders' Crown. That would be nice.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the intention. Yeah. I know we have in the past, I think, on a Breeders' Crown program, because for us, obviously, that's our last opportunity at a massive night.
Oh, yeah.
Here at the races. But, let's think. We'd have, 2 weeks from this Saturday to continue to grow. I mean, it would be, in probably, near the 6 figures.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Yeah, sure. Especially when you're going to guarantee it in there. All right, so that's Tuesday. We're done with those. We've got Thursday here. We only have a couple of those to go until we get into Sundays. The card as a whole, what do you think?
I think tonight, I think it's some shots that I think I'm going to be taking a little bit tricky though. Sometimes these maiden races can be awfully tricky to handicap, but I'm going to hope to take a stand on a couple of races. But we're seeing the return of some quality rookies as well, right? One Bell, who's going to be back in the mix, coming off a qualifier. Wish Upon a Star Dale is also going to be returning off a qualifier. So some horses I'm looking forward to seeing as they gear up potentially for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and for a filly like One Bell, tonight's performance could be the determining factor of if she drops in the box next week.
Yep.
Right?
That's the biggest. She looked a lot sharper in that qualifier, but we'll get to that momentarily.
Okay, well, we're going to start our coverage in race number 2 is where we go with trotters, 2-year-old fillies, non-winners of 1 in this spot here. Group of 7, again, James McDonald picks up the drive on the 1. My Ghost, who happens to be the lukewarm morning line favorite. Now, she's had some opportunities, and, all in all, it's been a pretty solid campaign for her outside of getting a victory, but she seems like she's getting closer. It's just, is this one of the ones where you're like, well, yeah, I see that she's getting closer, but she's probably going to get bet quite a bit. I'm going to maybe take an opportunity on somebody else, like a White Blonde Hanover, maybe?
I think White Blonde Hanover is one that I think is going to go off as the overwhelming choice in this spot. And I mean, how could she not? I thought that effort last time out was really good.
Both of them were really good.
The effort 2 back was sneaky good, right? She was trotting well at the end of it. So My Ghost, to your point, Chad, she's been getting better each and every start, though, right? I mean, those first couple of starts just looked like experienced tighteners there and continuously hitting the board. But I don't know if they're going to have the gears to beat this Bill McClure trainee in this spot. I think she was moving quite well last time
Especially if she can maybe show a little bit more gate speed, because she's obviously been a victim of the pace in her first 2 starts. She's been live on the end of it, but, I mean, first half's coming up in 1:03 at 59 flat, and it's just sprints on the back half. And she's sprinting, but it's just so are some of the others.
Yeah, and I think now that Bob's got a chance to sit behind her in a pari-mutuel start, she's had a couple of starts under her belt. I feel like this is one that's going to be probably put in a better spot early on. And again, if she trots the way she did the last couple of tries, good luck to everybody else.
Well, we're going to have a look at White Blonde Hanover in the most recent, a couple others coming out of the same race, including My Ghost, who, finished ahead of White Blonde Hanover, but that was more just because of the early positioning, right? That did that. But even TH Tricks Are for Kids, that was a good back half for her in the debut.
Yeah, I really thought it was. And you could see Bob was stuck behind Scott Young's chart. She really wasn't advancing there. And you could see it was kind of 2 separate races as they approached the final turn. But like you said, you could see My Ghost. She's going to angle out and pick up a good piece here. But it's Bob McClure's charge here, White Blonde Hanover. He's going to duck into the inside here right now. And you could see that she starts to trot forward. Eventually, he'll angle out and find another seam towards the outside, and when he does, you'll see this filly start to trot, and she was already doing so right now, Chad, but you could see just got to navigate around Mass Bar here, who, Dougie worked out a pretty good trip with, but unfortunately just didn't have as much go on the end of it. But Bob McClure in his charge right now, she was doing some trotting, and even after the wire, this filly was live. She was live in both starts, and I think she's ready for a big effort tonight.
Yeah, and for Bill, if he thinks that he's got himself a nice Captain Corey, which certainly wouldn't be the first, as there's been a lot of them this year. She might only have a couple of starts left this year, given that it's getting late in the season, if they're not planning, some other stuff. But, you get a nice mark on her and then kind of focus in on what could be a productive 3-0 campaign.
He's done a nice job managing young horses, though, right? I mean, taking a patient approach. He's kind of eased them into their first few starts, and he keeps them sharp, and he's produced quite a few sharp ones through his time.
And you get a good guy in the bike, and Bob McClure, that does the same thing, right? So Bob and Bill doing a nice job with this one. Mario Bergeron, part of that as well, in some of the early tutelage. So everybody's going the direction of the 4 White Blonde Hanover. So although not installed as a morning line favorite, this graphic here maybe does suggest that you're right. She's going to be the choice.
Likely 2-5 tonight, I'd say. She's going to get bet heavy.
Okay, so that's race number 2. Over to race number 3 we go on the program. More trotters. Nominators at 2 or 20,000 lifetime in this spot here. Tricks up my sleeve. I'll tell you what, he's, he was showing good promise anyway early in his career, and then, was getting closer. Now he got that win. He came right back at his first try at the Nominators at 2 and said, you know what, I can do it again. And this guy's racing with a lot of confidence right now.
He really is, and he's pretty handy off the cart too, right? So he's got a good draw to work with. Scott Young has guided this guy to a couple of victories and has done a really nice job with him so far this year. So he's obviously going to be tough in this spot, especially with the way he's been racing with his draw to work with. But I'm going to try 10 Karat Gold in this spot. I've tried him in the past. I'm going to try him yet again. I thought that was a solid effort at Grand River last time out to be third, but there's a specific way that he likes to be driven, it seems. It seems like if you do too much work with him, he doesn't have that same level of pop late.
You bury him and kind of... Was this the one that Trevor was into a blind switch with him in the stretch?
And then got DQ'd because of going inside pylons, I think.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. So anyway, but he was live.
He was live, super live.
Yeah, really live. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is one of those. So you want to show this most recent from Grand River.
Yeah, and you could see Scott Coulter's doing the driving here from post 5, and you could see he's sitting behind a horse that starts to tire quite a bit, and you could see the outside flows already starting to get the jump on the pace setter, and Scott Coulter's just kind of waiting till the head of the lane here to decide what he's going to do, and he angles off the pylons here because the other three out on the outside, they're making a charge. One of them jumps it off, and here's Scott Coulter. He's hoping to find a seam on that outside, but that gets shut off from the rival on the outside. I believe that's Garrett Rooney with PC Peterbilt there on the outside, but I thought this guy, when he angled out, obviously kind of avoiding a bit of traffic, I thought he was moving well in between those rivals. So this is a horse that we've seen good efforts from on the big track. He's got a few wins in his career. I'm hoping he can work out a stalking trip here with James McDonald and maybe pick up a big piece late.
Yeah, what do you make of Plant going to the 6? I mean, you're picking up James. You know, nobody's going to complain about that, but he opts for the 6 I'm a Dinosaur. Is that maybe more... He's getting some opportunities with Goddard.
But then we see later on in the program, he books off a Mark Goddard charge for another rival. So it really is interesting. Probably for JR's mindset, he's probably picking up the horse he feels like is the livest. I mean, he's driven 10 Karat Gold in the past. Yeah. I think that you could probably do a little bit more with I'm a Dinosaur as opposed to 10 Karat Gold. So, like I said, he's gotten an opportunity to drive him every which way, and he's gotten mixed results. So we'll see.
All right, so John liking 10 Karat Gold for a shot here in race number 3. That kicks off the early pick 4. Fourth race starts the pick 6. We'll cover that throughout the night, but we're going to skip over 4 and 5 right now. That 5th race actually has some horses kicking off their career. 6th race is where we go to next to start the late pick 5, and this is that one you're talking about where we've got some pretty familiar names in here. It's 2-year-old trotters. We've got a mix of some boys and girls in here. Now 2 scratches out of here. They were some grassroots horses in Making a Run For It and Rare Legacy. But then some coming back, not sure who of this group is necessarily Breeders' Crown eligible, but these could be some Breeders' Crown hopefuls, you know, like a One Bell. And, you know, One Bell early on, she was just looking like one that we were like, yeah, we think this is going to be kind of a top Grand Circuit filly. And then I don't know what happened with her.
Yeah, and you know what? When people asked me in the U.S., they said, who's your top rookie trotter, in Canada or in Ontario? I said, One Bell. I mean, she's really caught our attention big time in a big way, and things just haven't worked out in her last 2 tries, right? I mean, she was a little bit revved up. I got it in retention, was it, for the Peaceful Way? I got a chance to speak to, Matt Bax, and he just said she did not handle retention whatsoever. Didn't handle it well at all. And then the Champlain, again, it just not really the effort maybe we expected. I thought she'd bounce back in a big way. And again, didn't put forth the effort we know she's capable of, but she took some time away, got a qualifying effort under her belt, and I thought she looked as good as ever in that prep.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see, to talk to Matt and see like what was the difference in that qualifier. So I'm sure if you're passing him in the paddock, you'll find out.
He's always willing to provide. Always,
Yep, for sure. So One Bell, we want to just look back, and this looks more One Bellish, let's call it that way. On October the 3rd, it was a qualifier. Matt was in the bike. He likes to do a lot of this himself, and in your opinion, she did it pretty easy?
Yeah, she really did. Tight lines to trainer Matt Bax, and that's Maschetti who's on her back there, and it looks like she was tight on the helmet there for a brief moment until One Bell took off, and you could see the body language by Matt. You could see the body language by this filly. This filly looks like the one that we saw when she made her first couple of career debuts here at Woodbine Mohawk Park, and she looks like she's ready for a big effort here as well. I think she's going to bounce back in a big way, but I don't want to discount some of the other horses in this spot though, Chad, because I think this is a good group, right? We saw Calix, she's looked better with the trotting hopples, and we're going to see Wish Upon a Star Dale back in action after a winning qualifying try, and she qualified with some good ones as well, so this is a pretty good group that we're going to see here go postward to kick off the late pick 5, and this Susie Kerwood trainee, she's going to benefit from a couple of scratches now, right? She's going to start from post 7, so that's going to be a big benefit to her.
Yeah, and if Wish Upon a Star is Breeders' Crown eligible, I would think that's probably what they're thinking. She was 4th from the 10 hole in the piece away.
She raced really well.
Yeah. No, they've certainly got a nice looking filly in here in that spot. So looking forward to this. Although shrunk down to a group of 7, I think it's a good kickoff. to the late pick 5, and that might be the best race of the night as far as interest-wise.
Yeah, I would have to say that's
right?
the one that really catches my attention again because of the talent that we have here
right.
and what we could see going into next week. Again, this could be a big test for a few of those, and we never even mentioned Land the Plane, right? I mean, he was first over last time, but I thought he's raced well. Again, lightly raced. Just this is going to be start number 5 for the son of Tactical Landing, and again, one that I think figures in here is going to benefit from the scratch as well.
Yep, I agree. All right, looking forward to that. Race number 7 to start the late pick 4. Sticking with trotters here, nominators of 1 for this bunch, 4 and under, a full field of 10 in here. Again, need a driver on the 8 resolved issues unless it is updated. No, not just yet. Hobnob Hanover, I mean, you know, the morning line favorite. I maybe see the appeal. She's been knocking on the door, but, you know, she's paying her way.
Yep.
By still finishing, you know, kind of in some of those other minor spots, you know, second, third, whatever it may be. If she were to be the favorite, she'd be tough to convince me to say, yeah, you know, I gotta take her at favoritism status.
I'm gonna take a shot with her, and I'm gonna go all in on her. I'm gonna make her my spot play, but I agree with you. I don't think she'll go off as the favorite, but I just don't know who to trust in this group. I thought she raced really well last time out. Not often.
Pat's got her going good.
Right now, often I back a horse that's won for 46 lifetime, but I mean 51 lifetime, I should say. But I mean, this is a filly who I think has been trending towards getting win number 2 here in the spot, and I just don't know which other horse to back here with confidence.
Yeah. I mean, you know, is the Zeron charge going to be a bit better? I don't know. Silent, right?
You know what? Some people say that he had sneaky trot late. I just wanted to see a little bit more considering the trip that he worked out. This is a horse that shows some talent. It showed some talent earlier on. He might be able to piece it all together. I think he's got the talent to get the job done versus this group, but we still need to see it. And I just really like the effort from this Pat Houdon charge.
Yeah, and you almost feel like and we're going to have a look back at the most recent here, so we can roll that. But the Ben Barrajon charge, because he only has the 1 start, you can only judge him really on the 1. It wasn't that bad. No. So he's one that would be a candidate in my books to maybe step forward here.
Completely agree. Yeah, he's got a license to improve again. Wasn't a bad effort. It was his first lifetime try, so maybe one that can definitely bounce back. But you could see Pat Houdon and Hobnob Hanover, Chad. She takes a bit of a shuffle here, and Pat eventually angles her out. And once she finds clear racetrack, Billy's got a charge on the outside that's got some go, but Pat angles this filly out, and she starts to move forward with conviction here. And she was a solid second in this spot, was never getting the Nightingale, who was bet down heavy in that victory, and was in a much better spot to work with as well. But again, this Pat Houdon charge, I thought she raced really, really well. And the last time we saw her race, those last couple of tries, she was in with Hey Trixie, who was making a pretty big drop there in that spot, got the job done at 1-5. And Pierre Ho Emerald was coming off a nice effort, a nice qualifying effort in what was a better spot as well. I think this is this filly's spot as tonight. I think that she's a filly who's got some gate speed. Again, probably a low percentage horse in terms of a win candidate. I'm aware of that. But again, I haven't seen anybody here jump out at me in terms of their most recent effort. So I'm just going to take a shot with her and make her a single.
All right, so you're going that way. The others going the direction of Ellis Island. We do see some of the resolved issues. The 8 horse in there, who was the 10 in that race that Louis was, moving forward, at least on the end of it. But again, one that I'm intrigued to see how he can step up. But Hobnob Hanover, maybe tonight's the night that she gets her first win here on the big track. We're going to skip over 8. We'll go to race number 9 next, starting the late double. So we've kicked off recently these pop-up series. I think we saw Trotters the other night. It's for the Ontario side 3-year-olds. It's a new one, and just kind of formed differently than we've been seeing. But nominators of 100,000 in 2025 as of October the 1st. There's also the optional claiming tag of 50,000. So I would say for this here, and is this the second division? Do we have one earlier on? I thought I saw pop-up action early on the program. 3-year-old fillies is what we see in the 4th. That's what it is. But here for the boys, there's some decent-looking horses in this spot here.
Out of Ice looking to bounce back. I mean, he was the one that everybody thought was the one to beat in that super final, and he definitely was going into it. But Time Passer had other plans, right? He went a 49 flat mile. I mean, nobody was getting to him that night. I mean, he was razor sharp. But I'm going to try Grin and Win here in this spot. I mean, I thought he was super last time out. Look, he was a horse that was struggling to find the winner's circle, but racing so well despite not winning. He did it the hard way with Bob last time out, right? First over, came a long way and still had plenty of pace left in the mile despite a tough trip. I'm going to see if he can work out an easier trip, maybe behind an Out of Ice, and maybe get win number 2 tonight.
Yeah. What about the magic moment? What do you do with one like this? I mean,
he's sharp.
When you, he loves the B tracks. Yep. And I mean, I know he was able to win here on September the 2nd because he had such a good effort here on August the 9th. But, has he developed more? You'll probably have to go quicker tonight against these, right?
The effort wasn't bad, though, when he took on similar company, right, from the 10-hole on August 24th or August 9th, I should say. That was a good effort, right? Was up against it from the draw, finished up nicely. But again, he looked like he needed the wire last time out, and that's a little bit of a concern versus a tougher group in this spot.
Yeah, we're going to see Grin and Win and his latest and that effort you talk about. I know you and I as well, we're fans of this Bruno No.
Big time.
He made a break in his latest. Was there an equipment change on him? Going into that race,
I think
I thought I remember something vaguely on him.
It probably was it a bridle or a shoeing change? Actually, there was something. You're right, but I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but anyway, J.R. Plant's going to be back aboard.
Yep.
This guy here tonight, but I agree with you here. Grin and Win doing it the tough way, and it's a big effort, and a big lifetime mark to come away with.
And I thought other horses had an opportunity to either put him away or get to him, and you could see he's still moving forward for driver Bob McClure. So this was a horse who was getting some covered up trips, some really troubled trips, and he was able to piece it together when he saw a racetrack here tonight. Again, did it the hard way, but certainly earned it. So, I'm just going to give him a shot and see if that's going to start instilling some confidence with this guy, because we see that so many times with horses, Chad. They pick up win number 1, they start rattling off 1 or 2 extra.
Yeah, okay, all right. And there's a look at the picks, split between the 3 Grin and Win and the 5 Out of Ice, who again, like you say, is trying to bounce back. And it might have just been one of those instances where not only do you have the 10-hole and use some energy early on, but I'm not sure many of us predicted Time Passer was going to come up with that kind of performance.
Nope.
Right? He just sort of bottomed them out.
And you know what? Maybe JR felt like maybe he needed that, right?
Yeah,
he was working
just roll
off the pace approaches. He said, let me try and roll him. And he was good to go. I mean, you kind of waited for them to start or him to come back to the field. He never did. He just kept going. And a horse that always showed talent but was able to piece it together at the right time.
Yeah, no, he was for sure. So let's go through the early pick 5 and your thoughts here with how you're going to map out your ticket. 75 grand guaranteed in the pool. I would be shocked if you don't have a single.
I have a single somewhere.
There you go. You got a
2
couple
singles.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kick things off with the middle of the gate here, 5 and 6. One for my baby. I mean, obviously sat in last time out, did James McDonald, but when she found the seam late in the mile, she showed some good pace. So this is a filly that's improving. I don't want to leave off Gucci Sealster, though. I mean, she didn't finish up her mile as well as you would have liked to see, but she's still a handy filly. This is one that might, has a license to improve here in this spot, and she could be the pace setter, which I value greatly in a field like this. But I'm going all in on the 4-horse in the next race, White Blonde Hanover.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be awfully tough to beat, Chad. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a popular one, but I think one that's necessary. And race
shorter group tonight too.
Yeah, big time. Race 3. I mean, you spoke about I'm a Dinosaur. One that I'm not going to go to in this spot. I very well could have. I went Houston Sealster, Chicks Up My Sleeve, as well as 10 Karat Gold. And I feel pretty good about those 3, but I do think J.R. Plant's got a live one as well. And I'll go all in on the 2-horse here, All My Wishes. For me, it's a matter of do I single All My Wishes or Tall Dark Lady? All My Wishes, tough trip though last time out, Chad. Had to be used a couple of times in some quick panels. Just didn't have much left in the mile. I think if she gets a more favorable trip, she'll be good to go here in this spot. And like number 5, one of these days, Commander Saul's going to get there. I mean, look at the horses he's been finishing second to, right? Time will Starstruck, a Mass Deployment, Imperative, who was super in his debut last time out, I thought. But I tried Tango in the Night on top. I think this guy could definitely improve here with Doug in the bike and Stormont Shanley Boy, one that I thought qualified well. A bit intrigued with here. I know likely going to need a trip, but figure I'd give this guy a shot here in this spot.
Okay, all right. There's John's thoughts on the early pick 5. Good luck with the way you guys play it as well. But before we move on here, just curious, producer Jason, any more driver updates that we can pass along, or do we not have anything just yet? Oh, we do, because we'd love to get these passed along to everybody, especially if you're playing along in the early pick 5. So here we go. Race number 4, the 5 Forever After All. Travis Cullen. So that's the only additional one we've got. As far as the pick 5 goes, we're still waiting on Machete, somebody to pick up that drive in race number 5. Again, we'll pass along that information as soon as we get it. If you are just joining us, no Louis Waugh here tonight. Some of those drivers have been updated early in the program and a couple late. You can check out hbibet.com for the updates there, or follow along on the ticker. You and I obviously pumped up for just the month of October as a whole, because we get our provincial program, which it's not just because we're biased, we feel like such a strong program, and year after year we produce so many great horses that are not only tops provincially, but then on the Grand Circuit stage. Yep. And we've got that again this year, and I believe horses we see Friday and Saturday here are going to be also being big players the next couple of weekends in the Breeders' Crown.
Oh, big time. Again, I mean, you hear everybody talk about it here locally. I mean, how many superstars have we seen come out of our OSS program, right? So we've seen another one, rise before our eyes here with Bojangles. We're going to get a chance to look at tomorrow, but just a lot of really quality racehorses. And look, a lot of horses that weren't paid up into some of the big dances this year as a 2-year-old, including the Breeders' Crown. Mm-hmm. But with their showings this year, especially here in the provincial program, I think it's going to give the Connections a lot of confidence to stake them heavily next year. And why not? Again, as we see this group here for the 2-year-old filly trotters, it's a pretty good group.
Yeah, I mean, Flowing Tribute has just been awesome. Bingo Knight, who's had a big year, unfortunately, she's got the 10-hole.
Tough
in there. But she can leave, right? She does have, she's a great gated daughter of Green Man Alicia that can leave out of there, but Flowing Tribute, it clearly looks like the one to beat in there. So 2-year-old super finals for $300,000 apiece. It's a $2.4 million weekend between the 8 rich finals. The rookies go on Friday, and then the sophomores are going to go on Saturday, and that helps accommodate as well the Breeders' Crown, because eliminations 2-year-old ones are on the following Friday, with the 3-year-old and older on the Saturday. So race number 7. Now, just as last year was introduced, the grassroots champion winner can enter if they want to the super final. If there's less than 10, they can draw in, and we do have a couple of 2-year-olds that are going to get in. No Better Air was the grassroots champion, but a clean deal. She's been, I'm not sure, did she tackle any Grand Circuit? I'm not sure if she's paid into any Grand Circuit.
Just provincial.
Yeah, just provincial, but she's been a star in there, whereas Dea, she's done both, and she's been great as well from that first crop of Bulldog Hanover. Jen Tilley's been sort of right there. Remember, she's a Bulldog. It was one that was talked about so highly of coming into the season. It was a great qualifier coming back. I wonder if something's been worked out with her. I don't know.
Who's listed to drive her?
Bob.
Bob, nice.
Yeah, Bob's going to drive her for Ron Burke in here. But, one that they were very high on. She looked so good in Gateway early on, and she's just had some issues with her gait and stuff like that.
I mean, you could tell how much hopes they had for her when Yannick came down here on one of his off nights to drive her in a gold, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and she made a break that night again, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then race number 8 is the 2-year-old Colton Gelding Super Final, Touched by an Angel from McNair and Kyle Fellows, the favorite. Doug's got a nice lineup.
He does, yeah. Okay. We spoke about Bob having a nice lineup throughout the course of the weekend, which he does. He's got a great lineup, but Doug McNair too, and especially with this guy coming along, right? Touched by an Angel. It took him some time to find his rhythm, but he's put forth a couple of good efforts over his last couple of tries. And actually, I should correct that,
because Touched by an Angel is actually the second choice. Strobe Light's the morning night favorite at 7-5, so we should update that. Strobe Light, despite being picked off by Touched by an Angel last time, is installed as the morning line favorite. I mean, on paper, it kind of looks like that pair, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know what? For me, there's no way. I mean, trouble with names. I mean, something had to have gone amiss in that start, right? I mean, he worked out a perfect pocket trip, just didn't have much go at the end of it. So curious to see maybe if I get some comments from Paul Reed and just talk to him about his rookie, because he put forth some pretty good showings leading up to that event.
Yeah, and one thing, as you know, and we'll see this for the Breeders' Crown too, is that for 2-year-olds, we got to keep in mind this is their rookie season. They've never done it, so you got to start sniffing out who's maybe starting to show some fatigue, right? Some wear and tear. And how many times have we seen some really good horses maybe jump up with a big effort because they're ascending?
We even saw like a Fun Time by Amo. He got upset, right? He was going those big miles earlier on, and he got. I mean, I forget who picked him off in the super final that year. But again, disappointed as the overwhelming choice. But he was one that, eventually sometimes those big miles just catch up to you, right?
Yeah. Race number 9. I think we're gonna have a lot of eyes on this one. Maybe not from a wagering standpoint, but just for a fan standpoint, it's just fun to rally around it. We all love it in horse racing, and we've got our undefeated superstar here in Bojangles, looking to keep that intact. He faces off with a group of 8, including Odds On Bullfrog, who was the grassroots champion. He's a stablemate as well. So he's installed at 1-5 on the board, likely to even go down to 1-9 come post time in this spot. Till the cows come home. He's raced tough all year, but I would think he's going to have to do what he's been doing, and that's get used hard early from out there again.
I wonder if, again, he's been chasing Bojangles each and every start. He's been racing super, but you could see last time out a little bit of fatigue maybe setting in that specific outing. Tough trip for Redland Rocketman as well. He's got post 8. one that has been racing super, but you could say that about so many rivals in the spot, Chad. It's just tough to chase a horse who starting to emerge as a star, right?
Yeah, but yeah, really looking forward to this. He's just such a pleasure to watch,
big time, yeah.
you know, and I feel very fortunate. I've been, you know, I have the opportunity to be able to call him, you know, in some of these races. You look back at things like that, and then, you know, as you know yourself too, and here chatting about it, going out there interviewing, and yeah, he's a superstar, that's for sure. Then on Saturday, and keep in mind, folks, we've got 13 Friday and Saturday. Yep. But the super finals are going to be sort of the middle portions of those races. Race number 6, they're going to kick off the late pick, or I shouldn't even say late pick 5, mid pick 5s, because yeah, we'll have 3 opportunities for that. So the Thrill Filly Trotters on Saturday started off. Foxy Amy was the grassroots champ, so she's back again. She knows these gold foes. Mona Lishi, you know, if she rights the ship, she could be tough. Storm on Beautiful was awesome. Yeah. That quick. You know, I mean, set up well for her, but still, I mean, man, she can move.
I mean, you know what? We've seen it set up for her in the past, but I've never seen her look like that. The way she did last time. What I mean, right now she's clicking on all cylinders.
Yep.
And you know what? She's got a great draw to work with as well. So, you know, she's going to likely be able to work out another good trip. But I thought Exquisite Taste. I thought that filly raced really well.
Is that the one JR drove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was live.
Yeah, because Bright Green with Louis as well. But Storm on Beautiful. Didn't Bob say that, like, for a piece, she's one of the fastest trotters he's sat behind, like what she can do for a piece, you know?
And, you know, obviously being able to pick up the drive again, right? I mean, you see Tyler Borth co-owns Sprite Sealster, so Bob getting a chance to pick up a filly who's already familiar with, but Tyler Borth, he did an exceptional job guiding this filly in some of those Grand Circuit events as well. Yeah,
okay, so the next one, race number 7 on the Saturday Super Final pack as well. That's the Thrilled Fillies. Chantilly, as I said in the race call, I think she served notice last week in the gold to say she's back. And, you know, it was just you know, it's been a challenging year for Nick. He admitted that, right? And, you know, but hoping for a big finish, and we want a huge effort from her because we want to see a rematch coming up in the Breeders' Crown too, following weeks.
Big time, and we tuned in from Lexington to make sure that we, you know, watched both golds with Crackshot as well as Chantilly, and I mean, even us, we said, wow, right? That's the filly that we know we love to see, right? And again, it didn't really work out in a couple of outings, but I mean, she gave us all an indication that she's back.
Yeah. Simply the Best, the grassroots champ. She gets an opportunity to go in there. I thought Eternal Light raced really well last time.
She's been racing well all year.
Yeah, she held on to second, right? Yep. Yeah. So good effort there for young conditioner Austin McEnany. Race number 8. Super final, this for the Thrill Colting Gelding Trotters. P.L. Spencer, again, there's another top one for Bob McClure and them. You know, for Nickel and Dime, who was the grassroots champ, what a great find. He's been off of On Gate for somewhere in the neighborhood of $14,000 US. I mean, he's clearly paid that back, but he's been very good. I'm not sure how he can stack up against these. Richie Rich was just sold on Gate for, I think, $87,000 US. Now debuts for Tommy Riley. I'm not sure if Tommy's down or Amanda's down as trainer, but Team Riley.
But you know what? We know that he's capable. If he can piece it all together.
Did James go his way? I didn't even notice.
Did
he? Okay. Yeah. So James is going to drive him as well. Galen Urso Day in there. It's a good division.
But P.L. Spencer, he's the one to beat, right? I mean, he's looked really, really sharp. Man, he's matured a lot since a rookie, though. He really has. I mean, you had to ease him off the gate, be careful with him. Now he's pushed
still looks fresh, too,
yeah, he just does. It seems like you can do just about anything with him. And again, like you said, hasn't been taxing for him whatsoever.
Yeah. And then the 3-year-old Colt super final. What I'm glad to see here is that, so Crackshot, who's trying to double up in the super finals, he's got a center of the gate draw, but All-Star Maniac, who figures to be a top contender, I mean, he didn't really get an opportunity in the latest to shake loose. You know, Doug, we know, is not going to open up that inside. When he did open it up, he was gone already in here, but Crackshot was wicked. Sub 50. You know, new lifetime mark for him. But nice to see them, you know, line up together in a good spot in this spot. You know, you got Boxer Sealster that I think's been racing a bit better, 5th and 5 as well. And then Time Passer off that romping effort in the grassroots. You know, whether he's successful in here or not, as far as getting a big chunk, he might just be one that could play a big impact on how it unfolds.
Yeah, big time.
Right?
He's likely going to be leaving out of there, right? I mean, he raced so well doing it a specific way.
Why wouldn't you try it again?
Try and bottom out this field. I think All-Star Maniac probably needed that start last time out, I'd say, right? So I agree with you. I mean, they both draw well, Crackshot and All-Star Maniac. They're both on a level playing field. And, you know, Control Rocks is one that, I mean, he's likely going to be pushing out of there, and he draws inside of both of them. So this is going to be a quality race.
Yeah, no, for sure. So really looking forward to that. And there's a lot more at stake as well, you know, in these OSS grass super finals, the gold level on Friday and Saturday, because there's a year-long race for the trainers and the drivers, the Johnston Cup for the trainers, the Lampman for the drivers, and we've got certainly a tight race in the drivers.
Yep.
And, you know, Greg McNair is sitting pretty as far as the Johnston Cup goes. But, you know, let's have a look at where they're standing coming into this weekend. And the way it works, you get a point for every starter that you've got. And then you get points for first, second, and third. 4, 3, and 2 is how it's broke down. So mathematically, there might come a point, you know, maybe even early on this weekend where we say, well, Greg McNair's got his all wrapped up. But as far as the Lampman Cup, Bob McClure having a big year. He leads the way, but Louis right there at 351 points. I mean, it's going to come down, you know, to that pair, you would think, in this spot. But look at the earnings. I mean, yeah, I know that he's had Bojangles, but it's not been just Bojangles, right? He's got arguably the top 2-year-old trotting filly. He's got arguably the top 3-year-old trotting colt in there, right? And yeah, it's been a real good year for him.
You know what? I know we're focusing on the head-to-head between Bob and Louis, and Bob's going to have a great opportunity to capture this, obviously. But how about Tyler Borth? Just shy of $1 million in earnings.
He'd be proud of that.
Yeah, I mean he's had a great year here in the provincial program. He's guided multiple gold winners as well. LMC Wagon Wheel, Control Rocks. Obviously his filly Sprite Sealster as well, and. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be, pleased with the year he's having as well.
And I think one of these days, too, we're going to get a picture of Tyler where he doesn't look 14.
Yeah, big time,
Yeah.
You got to get that updated.
Yeah, that's his public school picture. Yeah. But, yeah, no, congrats to those guys, regardless of what happens this weekend. It's been a big year already. As far as the trainers go, Greg coming into this weekend well-positioned for back-to-back.
Yep.
And did I read he's already got 6?
Okay.
I think he's won the Johnston Cup 6 times, or this would be his 6th. But anyway, he's got a nice lead coming in. Not sure exactly how many starters he's got that he's sending out. But I know on the Friday he's just got 1. But on Saturday he'll have a couple other opportunities as well. Tony Bean, Kyle Fellows having a good year in the provincial program as well, sending out some more, OSS horses that have done very well, and then Doc Moore, we always expect to see him too.
Yep, and obviously headlined by Kyle Fellows and Dr. Ian Moore, just headlined by their star rookies as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's been another stellar year for them.
Yeah, no, for sure. So looking forward to that. Also here on, I think it's over the 2 nights, but Ontario Racing. With the Ontario Sire Stakes, I believe they're handing out like betting vouchers.
Nice.
To limited or whatever, and it's obviously one per person, but I think they're like $10 vouchers. But then there's also going to be, I think, a designated betting machine where you could win these so-called golden tickets, where I think there's a couple of top prizes of like $500.
If you see me sneaking out during the show,
I don't
right?
know that you qualify for that. Not that you don't fire enough, but we'll maybe have some more details about that tomorrow leading into the program. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, likewise.
Enjoy your night. Yep. You'll take it away here with the plays of the night. I'm going to jet upstairs and get set for this Thursday 10-pack.
All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to start off with an all-in white blonde Hanover here in race number 2. She's going to be a heavy chalk, I'd say, but one that I feel comfortable going all in on. My spot play will be Hobnob Hanover. I think this filly's sitting on a winning effort. I know she's a low win percentage candidate, but I think her efforts have been steadily improving. My repeat will be Grin and Win off what was a strong winning effort last time out. I'm hoping he can start to build some confidence. And my worth a look, Show Me the Green in race number 10. Made a miscue on the lead last time out. He was going to pick up a pretty good piece last time out before jumping it off. So one that I think you've got to give consideration to close out that late pick 5. We're going to provide some other resident handicappers and their opinions as well here tonight. We're going to go to Kevin Ploucha, DRF analyst. He's going to go Roscoe in race at number 5. That's going to be a spot play, picking up James McDonald in the Bica this evening. Garnet Barnsdale going to Elise Island as his spot play in race number 7. And Ghislaine Paquette, in agreement with myself, in top shape, Grin and Win. I'm hoping we can get the job done here in race number 9. So there's their thoughts, there's my thoughts, and I'll be with you all throughout the night, throughout this Thursday night 10-pack. 3 minutes to go till race number 1. Good luck.